Carbon fiber. It's the stuff of engineering dreams, a true wonder material that makes our fastest cars and most advanced aircraft a reality. But here's the thing. This incredible innovation has a pretty big dark side, a massive, growing problem that honestly we just can't afford to ignore anymore. So, how did we get here? And more importantly, how do we get out? Let's dive in. So, what makes carbon fiber so special? Well, it all comes down to performance. We're talking about a material that has this absolutely insane strength-to-weight ratio. It's unbelievably strong and rigid, yet it's also astonishingly lightweight. This unique combination is exactly why it's the go-to for any high-performance application where, every single gram counts. And right here, this is the paradox. We've engineered this brilliant, futuristic material, but our plan for what happens at the end of its life, it's totally stuck in the past. Get this, up to 30% of all carbon fiber that's produced ends up as scrap during manufacturing. That is a staggering amount of high-tech, expensive material that all too often ends up in just one place, a landfill. Okay, so let's really dig into this central contradiction. You've got the immense value of carbon fiber on one hand, and this huge, growing waste problem it creates on the other. Just so we're all on the same page, we're talking about carbon fiber reinforced composites. The easiest way to think of them is like fabrics made of pure carbon threads, which are then locked inside a polymer matrix. You see them everywhere that performance is absolutely critical. I'm talking about the body of a Boeing 787, the chassis of a Formula One car, and even high-end gear like tennis rackets and racing bikes. The crazy part is, the very success of this material is now the source of a global problem. The global demand for carbon fiber is expected to double in the next decade. And all that success is creating a literal mountain of manufacturing scraps and old parts, with no easy way to deal with them. The environmental cost here is just staggering. First off, this stuff doesn't biodegrade. It just sits in landfills, basically forever. Second, making brand new carbon fiber is incredibly energy intensive. So when we throw it away, we're also just throwing away all the energy and the carbon emissions that it took to create it in the first place. It just completely goes against any idea of resource efficiency. And it's not just bad for the planet, it's terrible for business. Carbon fiber composites are expensive, so tossing out offcuts is literally like throwing cash straight into the bin. But on top of that, companies have to pay for transportation and landfill fees. So think about it. They're paying to get rid of a material they paid a premium for and losing any chance to create new value from it. It just makes no sense. This image here really shows our current broken system perfectly. It's a linear economy. We take resources, we make a product, we use it, and then we dispose of it. See that big red disposal box at the end? It's a dead end. All that value, all that energy, it just stops there. So this brings up the obvious question, right? If this stuff is so valuable and the waste is such a huge problem, why aren't we just recycling it? Well, as it turns out, it's not quite that simple. The main hurdle is a technical one. You see, the usual recycling methods, like shredding the material or burning away the polymer, really damage those delicate carbon fibers. This means the recycled material you get is often weaker and way less reliable. It's kind of like trying to reknit a sweater after you've already cut up all the yarn. Sure, the individual threads are still there, but they're too short and damaged to create a strong new fabric. But what if we could just rethink the entire recycling process? What if, instead of breaking the material down, we could reuse it directly? There's a new approach that's doing exactly that, and it's turning this whole problem on its head. This innovative method is showing some incredible promise. It starts by simply collecting and sorting all those manufacturing offcuts. Then, using design software, these leftover pieces are arranged into brand new patterns, kind of like a mosaic. The pieces are assembled and then consolidated with heat and pressure, which melts the surrounding polymer and bonds all the offcuts into a solid new sheet without ever harming the fibers. And finally, that new sheet is processed into a brand new part. And this right here just brilliantly shows the power of this idea. Because the fibers themselves are never broken down, the final product holds on to its amazing properties. You get these high-quality laminates that are mechanically comparable to ones made from brand new and much more expensive materials. Waste is literally transformed back into a valuable resource. It's a game changer. So this isn't just some clever recycling trick. It's really a glimpse into a fundamentally different way of thinking about manufacturing. It's a circular future. Just look at this. This is the ultimate goal. A part starts its life in an airplane. Once that plane is taken out of service, the part is recycled and remanufactured into a component for a car. Then, when that car reaches the end of its life, the material could be repurposed again into something like sporting goods. The material never dies, it just keeps changing form. So, how do we make this circular vision a reality? Well, the key is a total shift in strategy. Instead of developing a recycling technology and then trying to find someone to buy the product, we need what's called a demand pull approach. It's like building a bridge only after you know people want to cross the river, instead of building it and just hoping they show up. It starts by finding a market for the recycled material first. That demand then drives the innovation to find the right technical and economic solution to meet it. This whole shift from a linear to a circular model really forces us to ask a bigger question. And this is the kind of innovative thinking we love to explore here on NextGen Manufacturing Nexus. By just changing our perspective, we've seen how expensive trash can be turned back into a high-value asset. It really makes you wonder, what other materials that we call waste are actually just a resource in disguise, just waiting for the right idea to come along?